Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to part 3 of Raw Review. Um, on part 2, the last thing I was talking about was the worst match number 1. There's 2 worst matches. And then we had the worst segment. Right after a worst match, you had 2 worsts in a row. You shouldn't do that. I'm sure that your ratings went down the shitter. Okay? I was writing out WrestleMania card for my WrestleMania prediction show. That's why I was doing it this time. No joke. That's how bad this match was. After the worst match, which was Wade Barrett versus Zack Ryder with Miz on commentary, you had the worst segment, like I said, which was Santino's April Fool's joke. I'm taping this on Tuesday night, Tuesday, April the 2nd, 2013, and yesterday was Raw, yesterday was April Fool's Day. I played my share of April Fool's pranks. I'm sure you guys did. If you did, tell me what you did, and I'll read them. I'll reply back. Santino played an April Fool's prank on Team Bricky. And if you don't know who Bricky is by now, Bricky is the team of Brad Maddox and Vicky Guerrero. They're not really a team. I'm going to call them general managers because there's not an official general manager, and it's looking like it's Vicky Guerrero right now. It's looking like it's Brad Maddox right now. When Brad Maddox is on TV, he makes me fall asleep. I don't know why. Brad Maddox's character is good, but he needs to work on his mic skills. But anyway, Santino played an April Fool's joke on them with a new little, like, tattoo kind of like right here. I'm not sure what it was, but it was, like, right in here. It's new. He hasn't had it before. He said that Vince McMahon is in the building. Vince McMahon's always in the building, okay? He's always there. And that Vince McMahon was utterly pissed off at Team Bricky. It happened to be April Fool's Day that night, and he said, haha, April Fool's, it's not happening, because he said that usually when Vince McMahon is as pissed as he was, someone usually gets fired. But Vince McMahon was already in the building. Vince McMahon never left. Yes, he was not there when he had hip replacement surgery. Yes, that was a real injury, and no, he was not there. But he's been there every single day. Hell, give him the WWE title. But we'll get into that when we talk about the Rock segment coming up here in I don't know how long. But Vince McMahon is always there. He's never not there. He is a trooper. He's a 60, maybe 70-something-year-old man, and he's always freaking there. Good job, Vince. Way to represent your company and show people how to show up every night, every day, and being your age. Good job. You're always there. You control chaos. Way to go, Vince. You're doing it right. Vicky Guerrero hated the April Fool's joke so much, she put Santino in a match. It was a squash match, luckily. It was Santino Marella versus Mark Henry. I love Mark Henry now. Mark Henry, I don't know what it is. Something about him just makes me like him. But like I said, it was a squash match. On SmackDown, General Manager Booker T put a no contact clause between Ryback and Mark Henry until WrestleMania because of what happened during the weightlifting contest, which I said was a bad idea because Mark Henry is the world's strongest man. There's nothing left for him to prove about that. And what happened? Mark Henry won that easily. He broke a record. I told you it was a bad idea. Mark Henry did exactly what I said he was going to do, and that's that. Mark Henry got pissed on SmackDown apparently, and he almost crushed Ryback's. God, I'm getting hot now. After the match, Ryback comes out. Mark Henry speaks, says, "You can't be mad at me because all you gotta do is smile," just like Alberto Del Rio used to do whenever he had his car entrance. So Ryback didn't like it. He didn't attack Mark Henry, but he used Santino Marella and took him and threw him on Mark Henry as Mark Henry was leaving the ring. Mark Henry left the ring. He threw Santino. That's that. He never laid a finger on him. After that, you had another interview, but this one was with CM Punk. Punk talked about how he's going to be the one to beat Undertaker at WrestleMania. I'm loving this rivalry, how everything's going with this match. I'm loving it. This is the match I'm really looking forward to watching. This and the Triple H Brock Lesnar match, but especially this one. You talked about how he's going to be the one who beats Undertaker, how he's going to be the only man to do it. Next was, like I mentioned, I think 2 parts ago, 2 or 3 parts ago, was the Zeb Coulter Alberto Del Rio match. I would have given this worst match of the night, but it wasn't. Zeb Coulter and Jack Swagger were up there to their usual shenanigans. They lured Del Rio and Ricardo into a trap. They took the injury, air quotes around injury, because God, what's the guy's name? Fuck it. Ricardo Rodriguez is not really injured. If Jack Swagger really injured him, Swagger would be in court right now, and Swagger would be in so much trouble. It's not a real injury. He's not really injured. It's a storyline injury. What happened was Swagger was distracting Ricardo. Ricardo picked up the crutch like he was going to hit him with it. Zeb Coulter saw it, and he hit Alberto Del Rio with it. It might have ended in a DQ, but this rivalry is okay. And then they had the crutch beat down to Del Rio. There was nothing Rodriguez could do about it because he was on one leg. That's how the story goes. That's how the storyline goes. He was on one leg. You know what? I'm going to cut the part here because this next part might take me an hour to get to. I have a lot of stuff to talk about this next part, especially this next segment. This next segment, oh my god. This, to me, should have been the worst segment. It wasn't. The most stupidest segment was the Santino Marella. I'm going to cut it here. I know it's not even 10 minutes, but I'm cutting it here. See you guys for part 4. Stay tuned.